Hey there, buddy. Guess what? I bet you've been feeling buried under a mountain of stress lately. Maybe your mind just won't turn off at night, racing and spinning with all the things that went wrong or could go wrong. You lie there in bed, eyes fixed on the ceiling, going over every mistake, every missed opportunity. You tell yourself to calm down, to breathe, but that gnawing feeling deep in your chest and stomach just won't let go. You're feeling the weight of stress, fear, and uncertainty. You put on a brave face during the day, you smile, carry yourself confidently, but inside, there's this quiet, ongoing war. You're not alone in this. Honestly, most of us are all carrying way more than we show on the outside. We worry about money, about love, about what the future holds, and about what others think of us. We try to plan everything out perfectly, control every possible outcome, yet somehow it never quite feels enough. So, what do? Here's something you probably wouldn't expect. The answer to all this worry might not be in some fancy app or in talking to a therapist, although those can help. Instead, it's rooted in ancient wisdom from over 2,000 years ago. Stoicism, a powerful philosophy that was practiced by Roman emperors, soldiers, slaves, and scholars alike. And guess what? It still holds up today. Because back then, just like now, life was unpredictable. People faced wars, betrayals, illnesses, heartbreaks. Chaos around them was beyond control. But what they learned was how to control how they responded to it. That's what today's talk is all about. I want to share 8 Stoic habits that can help you stop worrying, not just temporarily, but in a deep and meaningful way. These aren't just tips, they're about shifting your mindset. Ancient tools that can build real inner peace in a world that constantly tries to break it. And don't worry, I'm not about to give you some boring lecture. You won't need a degree in philosophy to get this. Everything we'll talk about today is practical, straightforward, and real. Whether you're a student, a parent, an entrepreneur, or just someone trying to survive each day, there's something here for you. Before we dive in, I want to share a quick personal story. A few years back, I was completely stuck, overwhelmed beyond belief. I was obsessively checking my phone, probably like 80 times a day, refreshing emails, craving validation, drowning in overthinking. I thought that worrying meant I was being responsible, but in reality, it just meant I didn't trust myself. One night, I stumbled across a quote from Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor who kept a journal through wars and pandemics. The quote said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." That hit me like a lightning bolt. I'd spent years trying to control everything outside myself, but I'd never tried to master my own mind. That's when my perspective started to shift. I began reading more, practicing some simple Stoic habits, and rewiring how I dealt with stress. And here's the best part, it doesn't require ripping your whole life apart to find peace. You just need to change how you see your life. That's what these 8 habits are designed to help you do. I'll walk through each one step by step, sharing quotes from real Stoic thinkers and real-world examples of how these habits have helped not just ancient philosophers but real people like me and you. This isn't just a video, it's a conversation. So take a deep breath. You're not broken, and you're definitely not weak for feeling worried, but you do have the power to change how you respond. And that's exactly what we're about to do. If any of this hits home, do me a favor, type in the comments, "I choose peace over control." If this resonates with you, don't forget to like, comment, share with others, and subscribe. Drop your thoughts along the way. I read every single comment. Now, let's get started. First habit, mastering the art of premeditation. Here's a question for you. Have you ever worried about something that never actually happened? Of course you have. We all have. We imagine all the worst-case scenarios: breakups, losing our job, humiliations, illnesses, and then our bodies react as if those things are already real. The worry consumes us. But the Stoics had a powerful fix for that, called premeditatio, malorum, premeditation of evils. Seneca once said, "He who perceives an evil before it arrives has robbed it of its power." At first, this might sound negative, thinking about bad things that might happen, but it's actually the opposite. It's about being prepared, not fearful. Every morning, a Stoic would ask themselves, what could go wrong today? What challenges might I face? Who might insult me? What losses could appear? By calmly imagining the worst, they took away its power over their peace. Here's how you can apply it today. Before an important meeting, ask yourself, what's the worst that can happen, and how will I handle it with strength and grace? Before making a big decision, ask, if I lose everything, what do I still have inside me? As you head into your day, ask, what might test my patience? Who might provoke me? And how will I respond? Like a true Stoic Somion who isn't a slave to emotion, because worry thrives on the unknown. But when you walk into a challenge already rehearsed in your mind, you become unshakable. Sure, you might still feel nervous, that's human, but you won't be controlled by those nerves. You'll have mentally prepared your dignity, your self-control, your tranquility. That makes you stronger than 99% of people who go into life hoping for peace but preparing for nothing. So start each day or before your next big challenge, just take 2 minutes. Close your eyes and calmly walk through what could go wrong. Then remind yourself, I am ready. That's the power of Stoicism, not pretending bad things won't happen, but preparing so they don't control you. Next habit, practicing the control test. Have you ever been anxious about something completely out of your hands? The weather, what people think, the past, the economy, whether someone replies to your message. All of us have been there. And the more we focus on what we can't control, the more helpless we feel. This is where one of the core Stoic tools comes in, the dichotomy of control. Epictetus, the great Stoic philosopher, said, some things are up to us and some things are not. Simple words, but incredibly powerful. The Stoics believed everything in life falls into one of two buckets. 1. Things you can control: your thoughts, your actions, your reactions, your principles. 2. Things you cannot control: other people, outcomes, the past, most of the future. Most folks make a mistake: invest about 90% of their energy into things they can't control, then wonder why they feel anxious or exhausted. But a true Stoic redirects their energy. When criticized, they focus on how they respond, not what was said. When facing uncertainty, they prepare their minds rather than trying to predict what will happen. When betrayed, they focus on maintaining their integrity instead of drowning in pain. That's the control test in action. Ask yourself whenever worry creeps in, is this within my control? If no, let it go, drop it like a stone in the ocean. If yes, focus on what you can do. For example, if someone insults you online, can you control their words? No. Can you control whether you respond with grace or anger? Yes. If you don't get that dream job, did you control the decision? No. Can you improve your skills and try again? Absolutely. When you live with this mindset, something amazing happens to you. Become lean mentally, emotionally efficient, spiritually resilient. You stop wasting energy hitting walls and start pouring it into open windows. Worry begins to fade, not because life becomes easier, but because your mindset gets stronger. As Marcus Aurelius said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. Drop that in the comments. I control my actions, not the world. Third habit, protecting your mind by limiting your inputs. Let's be real. How many times have you felt anxious not because of your own life, but because of something you saw, heard, or consumed? Maybe it was a negative headline, a friend ranting about politics, a social media post making you feel behind or insecure. Most of our stress isn't even ours, it's imported. That's why the Stoics were very deliberate about what they allowed into their minds. Seneca said, associate with people who can improve you. Welcome those you can help in turn. Today, that rule applies just as much for people and for what we consume. You can't fill your mind with garbage and expect peace. Here's how to do it. Limit your inputs. Protect your mental space like a sacred temple. Unfollow social media accounts that make you feel angry or insecure. Cut down news consumption to just 5 or 10 minutes a day. Choose quality sources instead of endless scrolling. Distance yourself from people who complain all the time, gossip, or spread fear. Curate your digital world. Fill your mind with wisdom, strength, clarity, not noise. This isn't about ignorance. It's about safeguarding your energy. The Stoics believed your mind is like a garden. If you let weeds grow unchecked, you'll never see the flowers of peace bloom. And here's the key. Worry feeds on fuel. Starve it of attention and it will die. Don't react to every opinion or story thrown your way. Don't carry pain that isn't even yours. A calm mind isn't a passive one, it's a protected one. Build a mental gate. With every new piece of information, ask, does this strengthen me or weaken me? If it weakens you, move on. As Epictetus said, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. But what if your reactions are shaped by what you allow in? Control your inputs and you control your peace. Keep this in mind. Drop it below. I protect my mind like a warrior. Number 4, daily reflection. Think of it as training your mind like a soldier. Imagine that every night before bed, instead of doom scrolling or drowning in stress, you sit quietly and ask yourself, how did I live today? Reflection was a core practice for the Stoics. They believed one of the best ways to reduce anxiety is to review your day, not to judge yourself, but to understand. Seneca said, when the lights go out and silence falls, I examine my entire day, what I did, said, and thought. Think about how much worry comes from unprocessed thoughts, things we never understand, emotions we ignore, mistakes we never learn from. Instead of rushing into tomorrow, the Stoic pauses and looks back. They ask, did I act with courage? Did I let outside circumstances rob me of my peace? Did I say something I regret? Did I stay true to my values? By doing this daily, the Stoic rewires their mind. Over time, it turns into a mental muscle. You start noticing patterns, what triggers you, what drains you, what lifts you up. You become more aware of your reactions, more disciplined with your emotions, more aligned with your principles. How to build this habit? Spend 5 to 10 minutes each night sitting quietly. Ask yourself, what did I do well today? What could I do better tomorrow? Don't beat yourself up, just observe. Keep a journal if you can. Use it as your mirror. And if you had a tough day, good. That's your signal to grow. Worry multiplies when we ignore our past, but when we face it honestly and calmly, it loses its power. Marcus Aurelius did nightly meditation practice, writing for himself, not the world, staying humble and grounded. You can do the same. The benefit: you go to sleep with clarity, you wake up with purpose. Over time, your mind stops spinning because reflection anchors you. A grounded person isn't easily swept away by fears. Number 5. Love your fate, amore. Love it, don't just accept it. Let me ask honestly, how much of your worry stems from resisting reality? You didn't want that relationship to end, that opportunity to vanish, that bad news to come. So what do? Fight it. You replay it, question it, wish it was different. And slowly, that resistance becomes worry, sadness, even bitterness. The Stoics had a radical practice for this called amor fati, love of fate. It's not just acceptance, it's embracing whatever happens. Treat every twist of fate as part of your journey, not punishment. Friedrich Nietzsche was deeply inspired by Stoicism. He said, my formula for greatness in a human being is amor fati, wants nothing to be different, not forward, not backward, not for all eternity. How can you love something painful? It's not about liking pain, but realizing it can shape you. It's about understanding that this happened, I can't change it, but I will use it. You didn't choose that breakup, but perhaps it will lead you to find yourself. You didn't choose failure, but maybe it will teach humility and persistence. Marcus Aurelius said, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. When you live like this, you stop clinging to how things should be, and instead you embrace life as it unfolds. Use this habit. Whenever life throws something bad your way, pause, breathe, say amor fati, then ask yourself, how can this shape me? What can I learn from this? How do I use it? Instead of letting it consume you, move forward strong, focused. You'll notice something powerful. Worry becomes curiosity, pain turns into wisdom, and even the worst moments gain meaning. This isn't about positive thinking. It's about Stoic strength. When you love your fate, no matter how life shows up, you become untouchable. Number 6, stay present. Don't let the future steal your today. Most worry isn't about what's happening right now, it's about what might happen later. You stress over getting sick, losing your job, failing in relationships, or bad things happening next week, next month, or next year. But right now, at this very moment, you're breathing, you're alive, you're safe. That's where the Stoics offer a simple but powerful habit: presence. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Confine yourself to the present. Think about that you are not in the past or the future, just this moment." He also said, "Never let the future disturb you. You will meet it if you have to, with the same weapons of reason that arm you today." Real strength, they believed, comes from living fully in the now. Because here's the truth: what's behind you is gone, what's ahead isn't here yet. The only true possession you have is this moment. Worry tries to hijack your mind, convincing you that the present isn't enough. But training yourself to come back to the no again and again restores your power. Here's how to practice. Ask yourself periodically, where am I right now? Am I really here or caught up in what-ifs? When worry creeps in, reconnect. Feel the ground beneath your feet, listen to the sounds around you, focus on your breathing. Do tiny moments of awareness while drinking tea, walking outside, talking with someone. Be present. This isn't just mental, it's spiritual. Living fully in the moment weakens anxiety because it reveals there's no disaster here and now. Only now, and that's enough. Stoicism isn't about pretending nothing bad will happen. It's about training yourself to meet whatever comes head-on, when it actually happens, not in endless imagination. The more you practice living in the present, the less worry has room to grow. Make this your daily mantra. Right now is enough, because right now I am alive, and that's already power. And if you're ready to stop living in the past, type in the comments, "I live fully in the present." 7th habit, choose voluntary discomfort. Here's a funny paradox: one of the best ways to stop worrying about what the future might bring is to deliberately practice discomfort right now. Why? Because when you get comfortable being uncomfortable, you don't fear what's ahead anymore. Seneca, one of the wealthiest Stoics, intentionally slept on the floor, ate simple food, and wore rough clothes. He said, "Set aside days to be content with the simplest and cheapest fare, coarse clothing." Say to yourself, "Is this what I feared?" Why? Because he knew that if you can endure voluntary hardship, involuntary hardship won't break you. Worry stems from unfamiliar pain. But if you train yourself with discomfort, thunger, cold showers, tiny sacrifice, you lessen that fear. It's not about punishing yourself. It's about building resilience. Here's how. Skip a meal and feel your strength without it. Take a cold shower and remind yourself that you can handle discomfort. Say no to small indulgences to strengthen your will. Wake up early, even when it's tough, and do the hardest thing first. Each time you challenge yourself, you prove one thing: you are stronger than your comfort zone. And once you see yourself this way, worry starts to fade because you realize life will have storms. But if you've practiced walking in the rain, you won't panic when the skies open. The deeper beauty here: when you stop obsessing over constant comfort, you stop fearing discomfort. That's real freedom. A Stoic isn't trying to create a life without problems. They're working on a mind that can handle any problem. So challenge yourself. Disrupt your comfort zone. Live a little harder today so you can live freer tomorrow. The less you fear discomfort, the less you fear life itself. If you're walking through a storm, comment, "I grow stronger through challenge." Number 8, align your life with virtue, not just results. Here's a habit most people overlook when trying to stop worrying. They focus too much on results instead of virtue. They ask, "Will I succeed? Will people like me? What if I fail?" Because results are uncertain, they get anxious. But the Stoics teach us something even deeper. Focus on being good, not just looking good. Focus on doing the right thing, not just on the final outcome. Epictetus said, "Don't demand that things happen as you wish, but wish that they happen as they do, and you will be well." This means that when you live by your core value, honesty, courage, discipline, kindness, you are already winning. Regardless of how others see you, or what happens in the end. Worry often comes from chasing external validation like money, fame, or approval. Peace, on the other hand, is born from living true to who you are, no matter what the outcome. Marcus Aurelius emphasized this: if it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it. Before acting, ask, is this the right thing to do? Before risking something big, ask, will this help me grow no matter how it ends? When concerned about others' opinions, ask, did I act with integrity? If yes, you've already succeeded. You don't need to control how others see you or whether you win or lose the game. You only need to control your choices and actions. When your heart is clean, your sleep is peaceful. When you act with virtue, you no longer live in fear of the outcome. Many Stoics didn't chase fame, they just wanted to be strong, wise, and honest. Doing what's right, even when no one's watching, is the true path to peace. You might not always control how life ends, but you can control how you live it. Shift your focus from chasing results to living with integrity. That's how you weaken worry and grow inner peace. If you believe living with virtue is your goal, comment, I live by virtue, not fear. Worry is a thief quietly sneaking in, growing louder and stealing your joy, focus, and confidence if you let it. But as the Stoics knew, and now, I want you to know, you are not powerless. You might not control the storms of life, but you can train your mind to stay calm in the middle of them. Remember, your purpose isn't to be shaken by every fear, but to master yourself. Let the world spin, others chase and panic, but you stay still, grounded, focused, and calm. That's true power. That's peace. If this helped you, like, comment, share, subscribe. Let's grow this community of Stoic warriors. We're stronger together. Finish by owning your power. Drop in the comments, I choose calm, I choose strength, I choose Stoicism. And hey, stay grounded, stay strong, because real power comes from within.